Yo, welcome back. It's currently July the 2nd, and I was able to get another client. Pretty stoked about this. I think it took me about like 3 weeks or so, just resetting everything and then starting it up again, PPL, and then getting a client. I do know now that the process of like sales part is decent. Obviously, there's a lot to improve and whatnot, but before when I first started and compared to now, it's been a lot smoother. So now the only thing that matters is delivery. So the next lever that I need to figure out, and obviously it's a very big lever, is figuring out how to deliver the highest quality leads possible and also to make a profit on the leads. However, in my current stage right now, I don't mind if I lose a little or break even, just so I can gain experience and continue learning and continue improving and continue refining and eventually getting really good at media buying and digital marketing and then scaling into larger clients. So the client that I did get today, he bought a $30 lead trial order, and he's quite specific in what he wanted, like a type of loan that he wanted. I'm in the business loan niche, so I have to figure out how to specifically target what he needs. And I have a little bit of time to figure this out because he's going on vacation. So I don't know how it worked out pretty well. So it's giving me time to research, figure things out. I've already built out his landing page, built out the filtering. I'm going to have my friend review it or just give his advice or opinion on it. And that's all settled. And then today I also went into his CRM and plugged everything in, and it was pretty smooth. There were some hiccups, but yeah, overall it wasn't too bad. Now, the thing with PPL is that one of the most important parts of the puzzle is your end buyer, so the client and their sales process, because that's going to be the person who's going to be converting your leads. So you should try to eventually get to a stage where you're targeting big corporations and corporations that have very large call centers or sales teams and already have it dialed in process. But I'm not really there yet because my skills aren't the greatest. So I can right now hold back on that while I just work with smaller buyers and just improve my skills. And also I can potentially help them as well on their sales process. So for this client, when I initially talked to him, it sounded as if he had everything together, but that was not the case. So I went into his GHL CRM, and he basically has nothing. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to teach this guy how to use GHL, also set things up for him. But it's okay because if I can set things up and then if I can create a template, I can create a template once, help this guy, and then bring it to the next person. So I already have like an idea of what I want to do and how I can help him, and then I'll also obviously just cater it towards his situation. But there is a sales process that I believe with digital leads, and that is to specifically have a SOP. Um, so calling the lead within 5 minutes or 3 minutes if possible, sending different types of automations out for texts, and then having a sales process in place for the first 7 days. And then after 7 days, it's a drip campaign with automated text and emails, and then small reminders or tasks to maybe call them once in a blue moon to try and just get them to re-engage. So yeah, all of this is kind of like the sales process and how to convert a lead, which is what I'm learning. And yeah, I think this buyer here, he he maybe just hyped himself up a bit, and maybe I did as well, right? So it's it's a situation where we're just both gonna learn. So yeah, I'm going to go into his GHL, and I am going to explain to him what how this works, and maybe he has a system already, so he'll just let me know because the conversation will be tomorrow. Um, yeah, so again, I'm pretty stoked on being able to get a client. It was a big goal of mine in June. basically the only focus that I had, and I was pretty upset that I wasn't able to finish it in June. But yeah, 2 days after, I was able to do it. So now the only focus for July is delivery and figuring out how to set it all up, figuring out all of delivery, and just learning more about meta ads, how to improve the quality, how to create really good creatives, hooks, angles, and all that sort. So that's a whole nother beast that I have to get into now. One day I hope to just hand this over to a media buyer, and then I'm cool with working on the creative side. I just dislike the media buying side, like going into Facebook. It's just so clunky, but that's part of the game. Um, so yeah, that's the update that I have today, and just gonna get cracking for the next probably 2, 3 weeks. And I do have about a couple more leads in the pipeline that are decent. They're kind of hot, and I'll just continue pursuing them. I'll continue working the leads that I already have. And so I think I spent about 200 to 250 bucks to acquire this client. So that's pretty good. And not only that, but I have a couple more leads that are being followed up on, and we will see. So yeah, I just have to pray to the gods now that I can handle delivery, and I need to just put my head down a bit and really figure this out. Now, I am going on vacation in July 10th, so it's about 4 days only, and I do plan to just study when I'm on vacation. But yeah, that's basically it. I do feel a little different getting a client from now compared to when I first did. When I first did, it was pretty insane. I was pretty, I was a lot more excited, but now I'm less excited and I'm more excited about delivery. Whereas back then, I just didn't want to deal with delivery and I was just so focused on the sale. So yeah, different mind shift change. Um, and man, I just want to deliver a good job. I'm hoping out of the 30 leads, at least two convert, two funded applications convert, and if possible, three, which makes it a 10% conversion rate, which is always my goal um, with ads that I produce. So anything over a 10% conversion rate, I think is quite profitable. And if you're in like the 15% plus zone, you're just printing. So yeah, I think 5% is probably where you're kind of like break even, little profit, depending on the client's product or service. But at a 10%, you are pretty solid. And then anything over 10%, you are doing very well. So that's kind of my outlook on ads and what I kind of want to do and the results that I want to see, but we will see. So this time I am not hiring anybody. I'm just going to ask my friend for some advice and help and just get some reviews. And I'm just going to study in the ad library and then just think of things and try and figure things out. But this time I'm also using a really good landing page and I'm juicing up all of the data as well, like just punching in all the buttons in there to like amp up the quality. And I'm praying, man. Like the leads that I generated for inbound, I think I generated about 25 leads and I got 20 to answer. So that's an 80% pickup rate. So that's pretty good. And out of the 25, one converted, and then there's two more in the pipeline. So that's pretty much kind of like a 10% conversion rate as well. So it really just depends on your sales process and the leads. That's again the two main levers, and then everything's a kind of like an umbrella under that. But yeah, I think I'm just talking to my ass right now and just yapping, but I am. It feels good. It feels good that it's kind of like you endure a lot, and you work and you working for nothing, but then all of a sudden it kind of like you get rewarded a bit, and the dopamine gets in there. And I know I'm in the very 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 early stages right now, but yeah, it's just enduring that was a process of just switching back and forth, testing out different things, doubting, myself and still doubting myself. Like I still haven't done the delivery yet, right? So we'll find out. Um, but yeah, just looking back, like when I first started, it was a lot, and then now it was like when I decided to switch back, I was able to pick things up so much faster. So that's like a a gauge to see like, okay, I am slightly improving, or at least I am getting slightly better, which is a goal, which is definitely an aim that I work towards. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you have a great day, good fortune, peace.